Welcome back to Freedom in Hours. Andy here again. Really happy to have you back with us for another episode. So now we're going to be jumping back and having a look at Bitcoin again. Now I've had a lot of comments from our previous Bitcoin videos, in particular, why is Bitcoin a bad investment? And today I wanted to look at, is Bitcoin an asset? So I had a lot of questions from our viewers and subscribers in regards to, how to value Bitcoin and whether we believe Bitcoin's an asset. So we're going to look at that coming up now at Freedom in Hours. Now, is Bitcoin really an asset? Now, what I want to do is kind of take you on a thought experiment, okay? Now, I've got the iPhone here, the iPhone 8. Now, say that there's only one of these, there's only a few of these iPhones ever produced. Now, I put them into a marketplace and I say, look, the iPhone starts at $1,000. Someone else pays $10,000 for it. Someone else pays $100,000 for it. Is this iPhone now an investment? And that's what I want you guys to think about with the whole Bitcoin idea is, just because something's going up doesn't necessarily mean it is an investment. So if you go and put money on a horse, the horse wins. You put money on the horse again, it wins again. Is that investment or is just plain luck? So anyway, I had looked up the definition of an asset. An asset is something that produces income or adds value. So a lot of businesses value assets such as cash, accounts receivables, vehicles, stock, real estate they may own, commercial property, shares, and they're things that actually produce an income. Now, if you turn around and have a look at Bitcoin, well, what income does it produce? Well, firstly, it doesn't produce any income. So the Bitcoins are traded, and they're traded on an exchange. But that doesn't mean they're an investment. Secondly, a lot of people have said that Bitcoin's an investment because it's now a currency. Well, unfortunately, Bitcoin's not actually a currency. It takes a lot of energy and a lot of effort to actually mine Bitcoins to put them on the blockchain. There's nothing intrinsically in the value that means they should be a currency. Now, if you look at something like the United States dollar, which you get a lot of people compared it to, the United States dollar is actually backed by the US government. It's not, whereas Bitcoin is backed by the people, so to speak. So you're comparing a Bitcoin with a currency, making an asset. No, it doesn't work, unfortunately. Another argument I've had in regards to Bitcoin being an asset is a lot of people have said, look, Tesla bought $5 billion worth of Bitcoin, so that makes it an asset. Well, I can assure you guys that Elon Musk, through Tesla, is buying Bitcoin because he's making a play in the market. He's seen, obviously, demand going up with Bitcoin, a lot of free people missing out on it. So what he's done is he's made a short-term bet that Bitcoin's going to go up. Now, for me, if you're a Tesla shareholder, that would be a little bit concerning to think that he's happy to, put Tesla on the line, for that kind of money. I mean, what's he doing? And I guess he got to where he's paying risk, but I'm very, very sure that in the near future, Elon Musk will actually get rid of his shareholdings and reduce them in Bitcoin. Now, I'm a big believer in buying assets. Don't get me wrong. I own shares, I own real estate, I own stocks, I own commercial property, I own joint ventures in different businesses. I also own a number of businesses myself, but everything I've done is when I buy an asset, I want it to be able to create some kind of value. If you're purchasing Bitcoin, what kind of value are you creating? Well, you're not really creating any value, are you? You're just buying it because other people are buying it. At the moment, the freedom of missing out, the FOMO effect, has pushed Bitcoin prices up ridiculously. This goes back to, I remember back in the dot-com boom when everyone was buying shares of companies. I mean, some companies were trading on 10,000 times earnings. It was just ridiculous. And they're never going to go up. So what happens though is people see other people buying it, they see other people make money, and they get excited and they jump in as well. So, this is the effect that's been caused by Bitcoin. And I mean, I've got to go back with Freedom in Hours. We spoke about my mentor, John, all those years ago when he sat down, he explained to me, Andrew, look, you can make quick wins on money if you need to, much like you can in the blackjack at the casino. But at the end of the day, the house always wins. So in this case, if you're making short-term money on Bitcoin, or say you've held in the past and it's gone up, good for you. You made money out of luck. But if you're someone that is like I was 10 years ago, struggling to make ends meet, not having enough income to cover expenses, really putting any money you want into Bitcoin, for me is quite frightening. And I've also heard of people getting overdrafts, getting mortgages on their homes, borrowing money from family, borrowing money from friends to buy Bitcoin thinking it was an asset. Now, it's not an asset. I did a previous video, is Bitcoin's not like gold? A lot of people are saying that Bitcoin's going to replace gold. To be honest, that's just a ridiculous comment. I mean, how can Bitcoin replace something that's been actively traded and used for thousands of years across all the human culture, that can still be used in manufacturing, used in jewelry, and is a store of wealth and people wear it? It's just mind-boggling. It kind of reflects the kind of madness going on at the moment. So a lot of my videos, I don't know if you've read the comments, a lot of people are firstly commenting about me, which is fine. I don't mind. I'm a good-looking young man. They're also commenting about things that they're suggesting you don't know anything about cryptocurrency and blockchain 7 mine, and they just give terms and technology that, to be honest, I don't even think they understand. And I think people are doing their best to push up the price of Bitcoin. So videos like this are really, really important. They give you the other view about how Bitcoin's working. They kind of turn things around so you actually understand what you're getting into. Now, cryptocurrency itself, there's thousands of new currencies coming online. A lot of currencies are actually a lot better performing than Bitcoin and a lot more secure. So before you start running out and buying Bitcoin thinking it's going to go to $1 trillion, $100 trillion, I mean, let's just, per Bitcoin, let's just put crazy numbers on it. Just think to yourself, what's the intrinsic value of Bitcoin? Now, I believe it's zero. I believe it's good to buy, maybe exchange it, but it's not a effective means of transactions. It's not a currency. It's not backed up by anyone. The technology can be replicated again and again and again. It's just madness. So if you got Bitcoin, I suggest sell it. It's not an asset. Go and spend your money on buying other assets. Again, an asset is something that produces an income. It produces value. It increases over time. Say, for example, you can buy real estate. Real estate you can rent out. Real estate you can refurbish or renovate. Real estate you can make look nicer. You can split up the rooms. You can hold it as it grows over time. A lot of different ways. Shares, you can value a company, what a company's worth. You can value its cash flow, its assets. You can do all these kind of things to add value. With Bitcoin, you're buying it and hoping it goes up. It's that simple. Now, guys, please make sure you don't waste your money on Bitcoin. Again, many years ago when the tulip mania boom was happening in the 1700s, I'm sure people would have gone, but tulips, they're a great asset. They're going up. People use them. People buy them. That's why they're worth, I don't know, whatever it was, $10,000 a tulip. They weren't an asset. Look at tulips now. In the future, when Bitcoin price has dropped, I don't like to be a doomsdayer, but we'll talk about in the future other asset classes that I believe are worth it. There's a lot of assets at the moment that you can still make money on, even though there's cheap money around, even though things are booming. So we're going to talk about that in the future, about how you can make money. Now, also look at our other videos as well. I'm actually subscribed to our channel, but look at our other videos where we talk about mental diets, about focusing for success, about the skills to learn for success, because it's just not about Bitcoin. It's about making sure that you're mentally ready for the road ahead. So anyway, I hope you see why Bitcoin is not actually an asset. I suggest you don't buy it. Make sure you care about your long-term financial goals, and put in comments what you think about Bitcoin, how Bitcoin's going to change in the future, and let me know your experiences. And again, really appreciate all your guys' comments. Thank you for being part of Freedom in Hours.